Hi guys, today we're going to go through some good runner mobility work using a tennis ball and a roller for runners. I use the tennis ball a lot. It gets into some of the groups that you just can't get with the foam roller. So I'm going to try to make this pretty quick, about a 10-minute video, and just give you some ideas on some of the problem areas we tend to have. I usually start with the roller, and I usually do this at night. It's kind of like if I'm gonna watch something on TV, I'll do it. So I'll kind of start with the roller, and then I'll kind of just warm up the muscles and find some of the grouchy spots. So I'll start with my calves a bit, maybe a little bit on one side. And like, for example, right now I'm finding a spot in here. So I'm gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna definitely want to attack that with the tennis ball. So work up the calves a little bit, and then you're gonna work up into the hamstrings a bit. You can do one side. You can even do both, and the other side. Something the roller is great for and does not feel good, but we need it, is to work out the quads and your IT band area. So I kind of start just above the knee, and I'll roll out. I had a massage yesterday, so this doesn't kill me like usual. Usually it's killer. And then after that, I'll try to do this side so you can see. You're going to put it on more the side of the knee and work up a little bit. Kind of up and down, and kind of start to slowly, like little strokes, and then slowly work yourself up. If you're finding grouchy spots, go nice and slow. And then work up into the TFL area where you have the bony bone here. So you kind of want to go right behind that. And kind of work that area a little bit. And we're going to do some of the glute area to get some of the glute meats that get tight. And then what I love, this is my favorite part, is to do the back. So I'll put it on the lower back, and I'll just roll here. Jackson's gonna help the puppy. So I'll roll out a little bit here, and then sometimes I put my hands here and just do a little bit of back stretches for the T-spine. So you kind of want to put the roller just below your shoulder blades for this. And you can also roll a little bit on your shoulders. If you do some strength training too, they can get tight, or just tight from running. And if this is all bound up, then we don't run as well because we're kind of all tight. So that's kind of like just a little bit of the roller to start. And then what I do is I grab this tennis ball. And ideally, I'm going to use the roller as a cheat, but ideally you have a block or something hard that is about this thick. And then I will find a grouchy spot, and I will literally just put the tennis ball on it. The roller does not obviously work as well because it's going to roll over. But I'll be like, oh, here's a good spot, and I'll just pretty much lay on it, put some pressure on. If you need to put more pressure, you can put your other foot. And I'll lay on it for a few minutes. I don't really time it. It's like I'll feel like, oh, this is painful, like a feel good pain. And then when it releases, it's like it releases, and then the trigger point feels like it feels better. And then that's when I will release that spot. So you can work a lot. You can work kind of like right here in the calf all the way up. A lot of time here, especially if you're having like soleus issues. So find some spots on here. You know, you can just, the good thing with, you can just hang out like this, and the block really helps a lot. You can even put a pillow behind your head to make it pretty comfortable. So you want like a owie, you know, to find the owie spots. The only thing is make sure there's no zingy, like, especially if you're getting into the back and the hips. Like if you're having some weird zingy pain down your leg, I recommend not doing that, and maybe seeing somebody. There might be something going on. So same with the shoulders. Like if you're feeling it, oh, it's kind of owie in this area, but if you're feeling some weird like nerve stuff, also you can of course message me, and we will try to figure that out. So that's a good spot to get. And then another good spot to get for runners, especially if we have some internally rotated femur, is there's this bone here that you can feel, like the bone that protrudes out, and right behind it, it's kind of TFL area. I still do it. And I'll just like lay on that until it feels better. And you can like move it like, ooh, right by the bone sometimes is a nice nasty spot. Sometimes it gets all bound up and we want to release it. Might be a little hard to see if I can like see the ball here. So ball under there. Yeah, I'll just go back a bit and kind of getting right in there. You can go forward a bit and to get more of the hip flexor area, because all this stuff, once it gets bound up and if you start getting IT band problems, that's not fun. You can get knee issues in back. So there's that, and then the glute meads, especially trail runners when we're going downhill, our glutes are all having to activate and protect ourselves so they can get bound up. So I'll kind of go in the back and I'll just find some like nasty spots and I'll just hang out. I try to do this around 20-30 minutes every night. If I feel like an injury is coming on, I will go kind of crazy on it, and it has saved my butt so many times. So I'm not honestly the best. If I'm feeling really good, I might not do it a day or two, and then I'll be like, oh, I gotta get back on this. So these areas are all good. This tennis ball is just really good for getting in. And then, so the hips, really awesome spot, and the calves, really good for these, especially if you're getting plantar fasciitis. I had it once, and I tried all sorts of stuff, PT and everything, and then I found this tennis ball video, and it was gone, because a lot of times your plantar fasciitis is actually caused from calf. Another good spot is your foot. So you can do the standing too. So that's when it feels so good, because we want to keep care of our feet. So kind of feet, calves, hips, big 3 spots. And a lot of times if you have back issues, it's from the hips and hamstrings and that. But these also feel good, kind of right, there's a bone here. And if you put 2 tennis balls, I'll just lay on it. And I'll just like, I don't know, read or something. I get bored stretching, so I usually try to find something to do. And then this feels really good though. And then you can work out like maybe a minute there, and then a little bit up the spine. You know, put a few inches above, and then work your way up. Kind of the T-spine, because T-spine being relaxed is super important. And then the last one, especially if you're bound up, like even if you're working or whatever, I do a lot of pull-ups and push-ups, so sometimes, and I do farm chores, so sometimes these shoulders get bound up and it feel like very tight running. And again, we want to have this loose, like the more we're bound up, the more kind of stressed we are, and then it dissipates through the body. So we kind of want to try and keep nice and relaxed, and this will help. So right is the shoulder blade, so I find like you don't want to go on the shoulder blade, but right inside of the shoulder blade, if you can put the 2 tennis balls, it's such a good, there's usually some sort of spot there. A lot of people also hold tension here, so it's also a good like reliever, and then you should feel it kind of dissipate. So there's a bunch of spots around the scapula or the shoulder blade right in between. You can kind of roll it to find them. Be like, you know, oh, there's a nasty spot. Okay, you want to relax and hold that until it dissipates. So again, not on it, but just right in between, right inside of it. The tennis ball goes a long way. It's cheap, it's effective, and there's really good trigger points. You could use it on your hamstrings too. I find it not as effective. I like to just use like a strap and do that stretch. Using a strap, that's a really good one. And then sometimes after I use some of this, I'm actually motivated to do a few stretches in the area. So after the calves, I might sit on my heels just for a few minutes, or do a calf stretch, or do a few glute stretches. If you have any questions on those, please, of course, feel free to contact me. But I'm hoping this gives you a really good ideas on how to use the tennis ball. Using it, I like to do it, like I said, at night, not right after a run, but kind of like an evening routine. And it seems to really help a lot. So a physical therapist showed me a lot of this stuff, so it's gone a long way. and I hope that it helps you as well.